Hey bitches, it's Nick Snyder, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss James Charles and Morphe being trolled by Wet n Wild Beauty, as well as Nikita Dragun being called out once again. If you have not already seen my previous video about some drama involving Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, I am going to place a card in the upper right hand corner, as well as a link down in the description. If this is your first time on my channel, hello, welcome, how are you doing? If you could please hit the subscribe button down below, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are someone who has been here for a day, a week, a month, or a year, welcome back. If you could please make sure you have all of your notifications set to on by clicking the bell icon somewhere on the screen. Please know that everything I speak on in my videos is my own personal opinion, and opinions are not facts. And please do not send hate to anyone or any brand that I speak on in my videos, because that is not what these are meant for. They're meant for us to throw a little shade, spill a little tea, and have a messy time here on the internet. It looks like the queen of copying himself is getting a taste of his own medicine, because Wet n Wild debuted their new 40 palette at RuPaul's DragCon in New York City, and it has a striking resemblance to James Charles' palette with Morphe. Now, I have to admit, everyone, when I first saw that James Charles was going off on Wet n Wild on Twitter because they decided that they were going to dupe his palette and offer it for a cheaper price, I had to laugh a little bit because, one, Morphe is kind of known for duping other brands, and also, James Charles copies everyone all the time and never gives credit, so girl, what are you so upset about? James Charles quote tweeted Wet n Wild's beauty of the debut of their new palette and said the following: "That's crazy. Your new quote unquote new palette looks extremely similar." James Charles continued with the following: "There are only so many colors you can put into an eyeshadow palette, and I'm not claiming to own specific colors. But when you copy the exact shades and layout from my palette without even trying to hide it, question mark, two clown emojis." Okay, I'm so sorry I just put you guys through that. I tried to read out the emojis. I have heard other creators do that, and it is just as cringe when I do it as when they do it. Now, I am not exactly sure if somebody over at Wet n Wild Beauty has something against James Charles, or if they were just annoyed that all the sisters were coming at them and tweeting them very negative things, but someone responded to them and said the following: "We don't know how much this is going to be. What if it's the same price? James' palette was like $35, which isn't horrible for such a large palette. ABH smaller palettes are $45. Wet n Wild responded to them and said the following: "The 40 palette will be priced between $25 and $29. Someone quickly responded to Wet n Wild's tweet about the price and said the following: "Being affordable doesn't mean you can steal other people's ideas, especially without consent, and profit off of them. You may think you're clever with this right now, but wait until you get sued." Whoever is running the Wet n Wild Twitter then took the opportunity to throw shade at James Charles and Morphe by responding with the following: "The James Charles and Morphe palette was purchased by Morphe from, not even going to try to pronounce it, cosmetic company." Y'all, this is quickly turning into an old school viewer's voice video with the responded with the following, because James Charles then responded with the following to Wet n Wild: "You're tweeting information out of context to start drama. This is beyond unprofessional. Not even going to pronounce it is the manufacturer that produces my palette, which I designed and formulated myself. Every company has a manufacturer that they buy their stock from, including you." Okay, now this is just my opinion, but I believe that James Charles formulated this palette himself, just as much as I believe that Jaclyn Hill was actually in a laboratory formulating her own lipsticks more than the one time for just that photo op. And Jen Loves Reviews actually had a very good point when she quote tweeted James and said the following: "What I'm curious about is if he formulated the palette, why he didn't know about the red pigments not being eye safe. Just saying. Maybe he's using the word formulate loosely, meaning that he approved the textures." And I mean, let's not forget, when this palette first came out, people were having stains on their eyes, which is to be expected with some eyeshadows out there. It happens all the time. We're not just saying this is just with James Charles and his Morphe palette, but let's remember people are getting hives above their eyes, and James did not handle it in the best way. Now, getting back to the whole Wet n Wild and James Charles drama, someone responded to Wet n Wild and said the following: "Why is a respected brand starting drama? Oh my god." To which James responded with: "I'm so confused. I really like a lot of their products. They bring great formulas at a drugstore price. This is so disappointing." And then, of course, someone responded to James telling Wet n Wild that they're talking out of context. They responded with the following: "It is context? They were quickly explaining something to someone who was concerned about copying, when in reality, it's just a basic rainbow palette that any manufacturer could make. You already have drama. What's the point of making more?" James responded to that person with the following: "The manufacturer of my palette has nothing to do with the conversation. Every brand has a manufacturer, and most manufacturers can make any makeup product. Their tweet makes it seem like my palette was already designed by a third party, and Morphe just bought it, also known as private labeling. This is not only not true at all, but it also discredits the work I put into designing the palette, picking all of the shades, and the year I spent working on formulas. This palette was my original design, point blank period, and Wet n Wild has ripped it off." Now, I am not going to sit here and discredit James Charles and the work that he probably put into this palette, but hi! pot meet kettle, because James Charles is always being accused of taking other people's ideas and running with it and trying to claim it as his own. Do I need to remind everyone about the national anthem that he apparently came up with at 5 o'clock in the morning? Another person responded with the following. I don't want to feel ripped off, so my question to you, James, is, was there a palette like yours made before yours, and you just improved the quality? Or did you came out with everything color concept, packaging, color arrangement, and formula? I do not wish to be blocked, just a concerned buyer who bought the palette. It would seem like a ripoff if I bought something that's made in clutch and way before your release. Thank you. James responded to that person and said the following. Totally hear you. Picked out every single color and designed the palette in Photoshop myself 2 years ago, before Morphe even asked me to collaborate. I still have the original PSD file and we'll be talking about it soon. Now, I will say this. At first, this was very funny because James Charles was sitting there freaking out because Wet n Wild allegedly took the idea of his palette and they're copying him, when in fact, that is what he does all the time. I mean, we've had how many videos on this channel of James Charles being accused of copying someone without giving credit. But now, Wet n Wild is continuing to like tweets about James Charles and about the fact that he always copies people, and they're being pretty petty. Like, at first I said it was funny, now it's becoming unprofessional. So what is your opinion? Do you think that Wet n Wild is in the wrong for allegedly copying James Charles' palette almost down to a T? Or are you excited for a more affordable one that you're actually going to buy because maybe you did not want to support James Charles in the long run? Please let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And before I move on to Nikita Dragun, I do want to say that I actually am excited to see the side-by-side videos of reviews of the James Charles palette and this new one that Wet n Wild is coming out with, because what if it's actually good, you guys? Wet n Wild has been killing it over the past few years. So Nikita Dragun is in New York for Fashion Week, and if you know Nikita Dragun, you know that she likes to plan out her outfits and have costumes and really get people talking. Well, this time she has got people talking for all the wrong reasons. Now, I'm going to admit that I am probably not the best person to be speaking on this, and the only reason that I'm even bringing this up is it keeps coming up in my DMs on Instagram and on Twitter, but Nikita Dragun is being accused of cultural appropriation because of the wig that she is wearing to Fashion Week. Now, I'm going to play for you the clip of Nikita Dragun explaining exactly the whole situation over on her Instagram, and then I want to hear everyone's opinions down below in the comments section as to why this is offensive or why you do not think this is offensive at all. So here is Nikita Dragun.
Guys, I am fully aware a lot of people are going to say stuff about the hair choice that I have made, and I'm just going to be straight up and real with you. I appreciate all of my gorgeous Black women, and this was completely inspired by them. This is actually a protective hairstyle used to, you know, really protect the hair, get all the braids. It's such a cute look, and I wanted to emulate this in a wig. This is actually a wig. I know I didn't actually get it braided, but I know a lot of times people get crazy in terms of like trying to rename a style or something that has such deep-rooted culture, and I would never want to obviously offend anybody. You know, me being part Native American, we also have braids and stuff like that, but I just wanted to take this moment to really just show my love, because I feel like there is a double standard for people who wear styles that are predominantly obviously Black or come from Black culture, and people want to act like it's a new trend or act like it's, you know, something brand new or whatever, and I just don't think that that's the case, obviously. And I even though I'm quote unquote benefiting, I guess, from the double standard, I just think it's whack. It's like, why can't these women wear their gorgeous style to work? Or why are we having people being sent home from schools and things? And I just feel like I definitely want to raise awareness for that, for one. And I just want to be real about it because I just think it's such a gorgeous thing. Hair is so beautiful to me, and women in general are just so beautiful to me. So I just want to pay my respect. I definitely don't want to disrespect anybody. You know what? Actually, wait, I have the best quote. Lady Gaga once said, "I've had enough. This is my prayer that I'll die living just as free as my hair." That was part of me, but like, you know what I mean. So I love you guys.
So what is your opinion? Do we find the hairstyle offensive? Do we think that people are looking for tits on an ant? Let me know down in the comment section. The thing that I find most offensive about this video is the fact that Nikita Dragun is in New York City and she is wearing a fur. And not because she is wearing a fur, but it is not cold up in New York right now. So girl, you must be sweating. That cannot be comfortable. I know it's a look. I know you're going for something, but girl, you're going to pass out from a heat stroke. So with that said, everyone, that is it for this video. I am just going to talk for 30 more seconds so that I can make it to that 10-minute mark, because you know the running joke is that Nick always has to make it to 10 minutes and 1 second. Well, I'm going to do a better one. I'm going to make it to 10 minutes and 2 seconds. I am about to go take some medicine because my ass has been sick since my birthday, and I have just felt so run down. I am trying to get ready for this move, but it is not it's not going smoothly right now, and I just want this whole room packed up and everything put onto the truck and just on the road. Like, I want to get out of here so bad. I hate waiting, and here we are, 10 minutes and 2 seconds. I love you, bitches, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!